Hey everybody, I'm Brian. I'm a gamer dad coming to you from Fort Worth, Texas. And on this channel, we're going to talk about ways that we can be better parents, be better gamers, and find ways to play more games. Because if you're anything like me, the limited amount of time we have to play games is some of the most important time we have for ourselves and for our families. I want to talk to you today about one of my favorite games of all time. I've played a ton of games across the years. I've enjoyed some, I've hated others, but really this one has just stood out to me as something that will stand the test of time. Even though it came out only 3 short years ago, I've logged more hours playing this one game than any other board game I own. That game is Spirit Island. It's designed by R. Eric Reuss and was published in 2017 by Greater Than Games. It's a game for 1 to 4 players with a solo mode, which is really great for those late night games after the kids go to bed, and it only takes about 30 minutes per player, so if you've got the opportunity, once you get it set up, you can play a quick game or 2 at night. It's mid to heavy complexity with a lot of different switches and levers that you can flip and twist in order to adjust complexity and difficulty and even some of the game's flavor. It's a co-op game with each player playing 1 or more spirits together to protect the island from the foreign invaders. And it has elements of area control and hand management, so it has a lot of different mechanics that appeal to different players. Play happens simultaneously, beginning with the spirit phase, where players can add presence to the board, gain energy, reclaim cards, and then choose their powers for the next turn. Next is the fast power phase, where quick action addresses the board situation. Then the invaders get to go, where the colonizers take action, grow, and blight the land. And finally, we end with a slow phase, where spirits get another opportunity to impact the board. Then you clean up and take the next turn. Winning is as easy as eliminating every invader from the board, which honestly is a lot harder than it sounds. There are mechanics that make that even easier or harder, or change those conditions altogether. And I think that really is one of the great things about Spirit Island that I really enjoy, is that it has this level of modular complexity and infinite playability. The main box alone has 18 difficulty levels, whether it's the different adversaries that you can play, which add to the complexity. Every adversary has 6 or more difficulty levels on their own, and then there are different scenarios that you can play, whether you need to protect the vulnerable heart of the island, or you need to blitz and raise all your powers against the invaders as quickly as you can, or if you need to lead a Dahan, or the natives, in an insurrection against the colonists. A lot of different flavors, a lot of different play styles, and a lot of different tastes. And that's just talking about the adversaries and the scenarios. When you layer on to that the fact that there are a number of different spirits with complexity in and of themselves rating from low to very high, you really have the ability to pick the level of brain power that you want to put into the game at any given time. And those spirits, too, play extremely differently. And that really ties back to that notion of theme that really, really appeals to me when it comes to this game. You know, taking a step back, a lot of games focus on imperialism from a glorification standpoint, right? Be the horrible invaders who take over and civilize the world. Colonize the indigenous peoples. Farm the unfarmable, right? Spirit Island is the exact opposite. It's a game about the natural world fighting back. It's about the native islanders, the Dahan, like I said before, taking vengeance on the invaders for spoiling the land. And it's about the spiritual, or the ephemeral, winning out over the industrial. Really, it really is quite beautiful. And it's not something that you see in any other game that I'm aware of. Reuss really has done a masterful job as well of representing that theme in the game mechanics. Every spirit plays in a new and refreshing way. You can be a quick roving warband surrounding the Thunder Speaker spirit. You can have the quiet solidity of the vital strength of the earth standing strong against the trepidations of the invaders. When you play the Hunger of the Deep, it's an ocean spirit, you feel like the ocean. Your presence literally ebbs and flows like the tide on the board. And the powers are evocative too. There's one of my favorites called the Jungle Hungers. When you read the Jungle Hungers, you know what's going to happen. When you look at the picture and you see the greenery consuming the invaders, you know what is meant by Jungle Hungers. Or paralyzing fright. I mean, we have an understanding of what that should mean too. And if it's a power that you're able to play, it does exactly what you think it would. Royce even took the notion of theme down to the components, with spirit-related and island-related items being made of natural materials, wood, paper in the shape of cardboard, right? And invader-related items are man-made, plastic, etc. Small design choices like that really resonate with the theme, giving Spirit Island a deep reservoir of flavor that extends into the way it plays, the way it feels, and the lore behind the game as well. The other thing I like about Spirit Island is the community and designer engagement. There's an active subreddit, r/Spirit Island, where people answer questions regularly, help people get into new play styles, help people solidify and tighten up their games to become better players, in addition to providing community challenges, just in case you're looking for a quick game and don't want to figure out which spirits you want to play. In addition to that, there's an active forum on BoardGameGeek where people answer questions, take pictures of their games, do play-by-play reports, and provide help with openings and strategies as well. The designer, R. Eric Royce, is very, very active on all of these forums, answering questions, providing insight. He writes articles all the time to help people understand what he was thinking when he was designing those game mechanics, or what the intent was behind certain pieces of the game. Because it's not errata per se, so much as just, here's the rule and here's what I meant when I wrote it, and so go ahead and play it that way, which makes answering questions really simple and really quick, which is a very important thing when you're playing the game in the limited amount of time that you might have. The last thing I really like about Spirit Island is the multiple formats that I can use to play the game. I own the board game and the expansions, so obviously at any point in time I can set up on my table and play a round or two. But if I'm more pressed for time, there are a couple of other options for me. So let's say I've got about 30 minutes where I'm supposed to be paying attention on a Zoom call. Handelabra Studios has a really great digital port of Spirit Island that's available on Steam and other platforms. It takes less than 30 seconds to get into a game and get playing, and the really great thing is all I have to focus on is my decision making, because the game itself takes care of all of the aspects of the invaders for you, making it so that all you need to be thinking about is, what am I going to do next? The other format I really enjoy playing Spirit Island on is the Tabletop Simulator. Tabletop Simulator, or TTS, is a 3D physics environment that's available on Steam for about 20 bucks. Sometimes it goes on sale, so maybe you wait for that. But it has a Spirit Island mod that is very well scripted and includes all of the available content for the game. That mod and that Tabletop Simulator allows me to play with my friends online, so we don't have to come together and spend a lot of time around a table being able to play the game, which in 2020 has just been a godsend for us. I give Spirit Island a 10 out of 10, and I think you will too. If you're looking for a game that you can pick up late, play at differing levels of difficulty based on how tired you are or how alert you are, or something that is really just a lot of fun to sit around the table and play with your friends, or if you really want to dive into a game that has an intense theme that's present in everything from the mechanics to the materials, Spirit Island is 100% something that you want to add to your game library. I know I'm happy that I have, and I know you will be too. Again, I'm Brian, coming to you from Fort Worth, Texas. Really happy to have you here to spend the time with me today. I hope you learned something from today's video, and I hope you get a chance to play.